Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to Our Matriline Podcast, aka
OM Pod,
where we talk all things girlhood, womanhood, and the journey in between. This space is created for South Sudanese women and girls by South Sudanese women, where we share our truths, share our stories, and the lessons passed down through our matriline.
In South Sudan, many women and girls don't have safe spaces to talk about issues that affect them. Issues that affect them in reproductive health, love, relationship, career, just anything that affects women. So this platform is the answer to that. So welcome to this podcast where we're going to speak about everything and anything affecting the woman.
My name is Doris Moga, a human rights advocate, an entrepreneur, and a passionate advocate for women and girls' rights. I believe in creating safe spaces for women and girls. I am a firm believer in educating and mentoring young girls because I believe that once you educate a girl, you've educated a village. Aside from that, I love fashion. I love to dress up and look good. I love gymming. And I hope that through this platform, we will be able to tell a different narrative to South Sudanese girls and also empower the future generations to come.
I'm Achom Garang. I'm a socially conscious human being. I'm a journalist. I'm a writer. I'm an impact storyteller. I'm also passionate about girls and women issues, issues that affect me, that affect other South Sudanese. I really love doing something about it. I'm newly married. Yay! Yes. I also love cooking. Food is my love language. I'm a foodie, so I really, really love to cook and all that. I'm all about lifestyle, so most of our content, our conversations will be around that. So hopefully I'll bring authenticity, I'll bring confidence, I'll bring everything and anything that the girl child needs.
Together, we're excited to begin this journey with you, and to start us off, our very first episode will be on lessons learned from our matriline.
So grab a cup of tea and listen to us.
Cheers to our first episode.
Doris, what's your lesson that your mom taught you, that something that you value and up to date? Like lessons, not just one lesson, but lessons.
There's so many valuable lessons I've learned from my mother, but at first I would like to talk about the good values she has instilled in me. She has taught me kindness, humility, and integrity. I have never seen my mother raise her voice at anyone throughout my whole life. She has taught me the importance of speaking softly and being gentle, even with parenting. Can you believe I've never been beaten, Achom?
No. With your mother?
Wallahi, I've never been beaten. So my parents had one kiboko. For those who don't know, so we will be mixing a bit of English and Kiswahili and Arabic here and there, and Dinka. But yeah, so we had a kiboko, but it was only used once on my brother. So my mom really instilled discipline, but through her words and not through physical beating.
That's interesting, because I asked we were beaten. So me, one of the lessons that my mom really taught us was drive and ambition. My mom used to say that education is your inheritance from us. Both my parents are learned, but they wanted more for us. Where they place only fika, we keep adding to it. So education was key. Secondary education was basic. No matter what, whether you're smart, whether you're street smart, book smart, you really have to finish education. So that's one of the things that I really learned from my mom. And also my grandmother. Yeah, that's what I can say. Another lesson was spiritual grounding. I remember how my mom used to tell us that prayer works for everything. When you're feeling low, pray. When you're feeling tired, pray. When you're feeling stressed, depressed, just talk to God. Tell God what you want. So that's one of the lessons that up to date I still value. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I pray. When I sleep, prayer. Yes. And also, she also taught me about unity and love. I have 4 siblings, and my mom taught us about no matter how, when you guys mkosane, you fight, what, at the end of the day, blood is blood. So they also taught me that, that communal thing, that family first, no matter what.
I absolutely agree. And also the same with my mom, the importance of unity. As siblings, you're also very close-knit and very united. I didn't speak much about the humility aspect, but my mom has taught us to be humble in everything we do. Regarding humility, my mom taught me, both my mom and my dad, but since we are on the Matriline podcast, we will focus on our mothers. And she taught me how to be humble, because the Lord resents pride. Even it's biblical that, we should not be proud. And so throughout my upbringing, I've seen my mom being humble. Even when she was uplifted to higher positions, she has always remained down to earth. And it's a value I carry on up to date. Yes, I believe you should be humble and let people uplift you. Yeah.
Yes. So our Matriline have taught us both positive and also, I don't want to say negative, but at least cautionary, I can call them cautionary lessons. Okay. Like the lessons that we can challenge, because it's not always like all glitter and gold. Yeah. For instance, my mom has taught me a lesson. It could be both negative and positive, but silence. My mom tells me like sometimes it's good to be quiet, but I feel like not all scenarios. There's some scenarios you really need to talk. Like you need to speak up, because you can't be keeping quiet about everything. Like you're in a group of men, and then they start talking down on you or low. No, I feel like you need to speak up. So that's one lesson that I feel like it's a negative lesson.
It can be, silence is powerful, but yes, there are times and instances where you need to speak up for yourself and defend yourself. As a lawyer, of course, you have the right to defend yourself. So yeah, there are times where our society, particularly in South Sudan, has really made girls to believe that they should be silent. They're the silent gender or the softer gender. So, but yeah, sometimes you need to speak up for yourself.
I can even give an example during my wedding. So when the reception, then there were like 200 plus guests. They only give slots to women, just one each. From my side, my auntie spoke, my uncle's wife spoke. From my husband's side, one person spoke. So I feel like, like for our generation and going forward, we should have that equality and equity. We can do this. Like we can still say the same things, Like we feel. Yeah. Another lesson that's cautionary. Okay, I keep doing the quotes because I feel like they're not good lessons, but we still learn them. Sacrifice. Like, as a woman, as a South Sudanese woman, our Matriline taught us sacrifice. Like you'd find a woman, she gives herself everything. Like she gives it all. Her mind, her soul, her body, her everything. And I feel like sometimes like either she's not acknowledged, she's not appreciated, and it's like they have to do it. But I feel like sometimes you have to see, should I not? Because I feel like when you just...
I think our mothers were more sacrificial because of their upbringing, and they've seen their mothers and our great-grandmothers sacrifice their everything to raise children. It was them who had to sacrifice their careers to raise the family.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like our Matriline are very powerful women. There's another lesson. Actually, like I said, you guys, I'm newly married, but this is something my mom, my aunties, they told me, endurance in marriage. I feel like endurance is relative. You can't tell me to stay no matter what, no. Like there's sometimes you need to leave, like if it's not working. Because I feel like marriage is supposed to be good. Marriage is supposed to be enjoyable. Marriage is supposed to be fun. It's like growth. But you can't tell me I stay when my husband is choking me to death. Yes, so my last cautionary lesson is modesty. Like, as a Dinka, it's funny, when we're all learned in my family, my two sisters and I was about to say my three sisters, I was counting myself. So my two sisters and I, we've reached a level of university. I have my grandmother somewhere in Boro or somewhere in Jongle. She'll be like, you guys, this education of yours doesn't end. Why don't you stop it for now? Get married, then you can continue in your husband's house. Because she'll be like, if you become too big for this man, they'll even fear you. So I feel like that's also, she has the truth in it that yes, social clock, you need to get married, but I also feel like, what do you want, Yes.
Exactly. So actually, to give an example of that, I have a friend of mine who has pursued academic excellence all her life, and while she did her master's, she emerged the top of her class, and she did it in a very prestigious university abroad. And after the master's, she was recognized. But now people in the comments on social media were like, okay, enough with education, now where's your man? Now bring us a husband, And when she was celebrating her 30th birthday, her cousins and the uncles are like, okay, this is your last birthday at home. By the way, a caution to everybody. In South Sudan, it's almost a crime to be 30 and unmarried.
Not even
And
30, 25.
Yeah, I've pushed it to 30. Yeah, but so there's so much expectations, different. I feel like there are double standards. And for me, the lesson that I was going to share, the negative lesson I've learned, it's a double standard actually, where they expect both men and boys and girls to excel in schools, but when it reaches a certain age, you're expected to pursue marriage. At 25, they want a woman to pursue marriage. So our parents did not educate us to only just pursue marriage. I mean, marriage is a part of life. I mean, God created the institution of marriage, and it's a rite of passage. Everybody should go through it, but there's no timeline to it. There should be no timeline. But I feel like in our society, it's abnormal. It's almost unusual for you to reach 30s and unmarried. And that's why our grandmothers, your grandmother was saying, you need to pause your education, start a family.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you find the right person along the way, yes, it's good to pursue both. But if nobody comes, you continue with your goals, carry on with your life. Yeah. Another controversial lesson or things I've picked up from my mother is that, so we are taught domestic chores, yeah? Our mothers brought us up to know both house chores and other responsibilities in the house. I feel like for me in my family, I'm the only girl, and so the expectation to cook is always on me. My brothers are not expected to cook. So 2 of my brothers can cook while 1 cannot. And there's a timetable at home where I have to, at least cook once a week because she's preparing me for marriage. So I feel most of our upbringing, we are being prepared for marriage. Subconsciously, we are being prepared for that. It's a good thing, but they should also let us know that it's okay to do both, to balance and to trust everybody has a different path and a different journey. Yeah. Another double standard is, for example, they tell the girls not to get pregnant while in school. But if a boy child impregnates someone's daughter, the parents of the boy do not condemn him so much, So because girls carry the evidence of pregnancy, while the boys don't. So there are many instances where my brothers or my cousins, male cousins, have impregnated women, but it's okay. But if it was a girl, the shame the parents would carry, it's overwhelming. But the boys' parents don't carry that shame. So I feel like these are double standards in our society. But all in all, I think all the lessons our parents have taught us, our mothers have taught us, are in good faith. They're only teaching us from what they learned from their matriline. Yeah, and they want us to be the best in both our marriages and to be better mothers. They're grooming us to be better mothers, to be better spouses. So it's not all in vain. I always take it positively.
And it's not that we're condemning all the lessons our mothers taught us, the bad ones. It's just that it's relative, like modesty, like balance it. Yeah. You can take this lesson, then you cannot take this lesson. Yeah. And also just to add on what you said, also when I was working in one of the rural villages, there's a day I was taking an evening walk, then I could see on the right side of the road, there were boys playing football. And when I saw the left side, there were young girls, like age 12, age 11, they were on the borehole. So I could see on one side, girls are just there carrying water, and then the other side, the boys are playing. And then I'm just like, they're all children, a child has a right to play and all these things. So it's just good to balance it, Also the boy, at the end of the day, he should also do something so that the girl can also have time, to learn, to go to school and all these things. So
so I believe our mothers and we going forward also have to know how to strike a balance and to avoid these double standards where some rules are only applied to men and others are only applicable to ladies. For another distinction we see very openly in our society is at events, or let me use funerals. Women and girls don't mix. I mean, boys and girls don't mix, There are roles specifically for girls and there are roles specifically for men. So I feel like we are brought up that way and we never question it. I don't know. Especially here, I feel maybe we had the privilege growing up outside South Sudan. We can question and challenge some of these practices. But for girls who have never left South Sudan or who are in the villages actually, it's very hard for them to question some of these practices.
Yeah, Even you've gone so very far when you say funerals. You know, even family homes, like men, women, girls, they don't mix. Even when the food is brought together.
For us, we mix.
Oh, we don't mix. Like when our food is brought, my father and the uncles will eat alone. The women will eat alone. The children. You can't mix. Like, it's, I don't know.
I think that is subjective. Our different homes practice it differently.
So you guys eat together, talk, everything.
And actually, another thing that
Is it extended family?
no, immediate family. My mom, me and my dad could sit at the same table and eat.
But was there an uncle in the house?
Yes, even when my uncles would visit us, we were free to eat with them.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, as you can't. I can't sit with my uncle and eat together. No.
Really?
Yeah.
These are some of the lessons we've learned from our Matriline. If you'd like to share your comments, also drop some of the lessons that you have learned in our comment section.
And also just add hashtag Matriline.
AKA or OMPod.
Thank you and see you soon.